vocabulary, guys. So what we'll do now, let me share my screen and we'll go through some of the vocabulary words, all right? Where we look at the meanings of those words, in what context you can use them and that kind of thing, all right? And then afterwards, we'll get into some practical speaking activity as well. Okay, good. Can you see my screen, guys? Just give me a quick thumbs up if you can, yeah? Okay, nice, great. All right, so let's get started. Just make some notes, guys, yeah? So the first word, which is adhere, right? Adhere. So adhere means like it has like two sort of meanings depending on the context. So the first meaning is to stick, yeah? Like you might have heard the other word which is adhesive, yeah? Adhesive, which is like a gum, like a stick, like you use to stick stuff, yeah? So it's similar to that, adhere. So can you adhere this onto that one? Meaning like can you stick this onto that one, yeah? So it has that meaning. Also, it means to abide by or to follow. So for example, we'll say, if you join a new company, you need to adhere by their rules. Yeah, that means what I'm saying, you need to follow their rules. You need to follow their procedures, that kind of thing. So if you need to adhere by it, that means you need to follow it. Okay, or you need to respect those rules, for example. Okay. So some of these words you might know, guys. Some of the words you might not know. So for the ones that you know, that's great. For the ones that you don't know, then you can just remember that. Okay. All right. So the next one is anticipate. All right. Anticipate. Now, anticipate means like to expect something to happen. Yeah. So, for example, let's say if I attended an interview last week, all right? So I've attended an interview and let's say I done really well at the interview. So now I'm going to be anticipating that I'm going to get the job. Yeah. So I'm going to anticipate that I'm going to get the job, meaning I'm expecting to get the job, because I done well at the interview. They asked me all the questions. I answered everything correctly. So I'm anticipating to get the job, meaning I'm kind of expecting a good outcome. So that is the meaning of anticipate. Okay, next one, which is characteristic. Yeah, characteristic. Okay, for example, let's say I'm asking a question which is like, what are the main characteristics of a good leader? Yeah, what are the main characteristics of a good leader? So what I'm asking you is, what are the main qualities? Like if you want to be a good leader, a good manager, that kind of thing, what are the best characteristics or the best qualities to follow, that a leader should have? Yeah, so characteristics means qualities, right? Okay. Next one, number 4, is compose. Yeah, compose. Now, this word again, has two sort of meanings depending on the context of which it is used. All right. So the first meaning is compose, meaning like to compose a song. Yeah. So a music director would compose a song. Yeah. A singer would compose a song. An artist would compose a song. Yeah. So meaning like they will form the tune, that kind of thing. Yeah. So that is called composing a song or composing a track. Now, another context would be, let's say I can say, an example would be, water is composed of hydrogen and oxygen. Yeah, so water is composed of hydrogen and oxygen. All right, so what I'm saying is it's made up of. So water is composed of means water is made up of hydrogen and oxygen. We had learned this all in our school days and college days, whatever. Yeah. All right. So depending on the meaning, depending on the context, the meaning will change, right? For certain words like that. Okay. Next one. All right. Next one is critical. Critical. Yeah. So, for example, in hospitals and stuff, you might have, heard of this phrase, which is they'll say like his condition is really critical. Yeah. You might have heard of that phrase, which is he's really critical, he's in a critical condition. That means it could mean like very kind of serious, or there might be I don't know what it's called in the hospitals here, but it's called like a critical care unit. Yeah, critical care unit. So which basically like only the very, very sick patients are really in that unit, So that means it means like careful, much more careful care, like every minute there's someone watching their condition, like how are they doing, are they okay, that kind of thing. So that really is like critical care. Yeah, so very, very careful, or being something more serious, that kind of thing. Yeah. All right, next one, number 6, which is determine. Determine. All right. Okay. So, for example, since we are discussing like healthcare related phrases, let's use another example regarding healthcare. Yeah. So let's say, the doctor would need to look at all the patient's reports in order to determine what is causing the pain. Yeah. So a doctor would need to look at all the patient reports in order to determine what is causing the pain. Yeah. So the meaning of determine means to make like uh, an official decision. Yeah, to make like an official decision, or you can also, in that context which you just use, it's like conclude. Yeah, like after looking at all the reports, you can sort of conclude like what is the source of the pain, why is this person having headache all the time. Yeah, so he's determining it, he's making like an official uh, you know decision based on the facts that is available in the reports. Yeah, so he's concluding from that information. Okay, next one, number 7, which is differentiate. Yeah, differentiate. Okay. So what if I tell you, can you differentiate between this pair of shoes and that pair of shoes? Yeah. Between shoe A and shoe B. Can you differentiate between both of them? Yeah. So what I'm telling you is I'm telling you to like, I'm asking you like, what makes it different? Yeah. What makes it different? Yeah. For example, you can say these shoes are white, those are black. This is made of, these are running shoes, that is formal shoes, like that kind of thing. So you can tell me the differences. So to differentiate, like, means like you're asking, like, what is the differences between the two? Okay. All right. Before we move on, guys, just give me a quick thumbs up if you're following so far. Yeah. And then we'll carry on. Okay. Nice. Very good. Great. All right. So let's carry on. All right. Next one, number 8, which is the word engage. Yeah, engage. Right. Okay, so for example, let's look at this phrase. Yeah, so I'll say, like, when you're meeting a stranger for the first time, it's good to engage in a conversation. Yeah, when you're meeting a stranger for the first time, it's good to engage in a conversation. So what I'm saying is, it's good to have a conversation, or it's good to be occupied in a conversation, with a stranger for the first time. Why? Because it makes you more comfortable. Like, imagine if you're going to a new company for an interview, you're meeting the team leader there, whatever. Yes, so sitting down very silently, it's good to have like a little conversation, like, where you're from. Okay, I'm from here. Like, how's the work going here? Do you like this company? Something like that, some small talk. Yeah. That kind of thing. So it's good to engage in a conversation, meaning it's good to have a conversation. So it's good to be like occupied in a conversation, or to participate rather. Yeah. So for example, I can tell you guys, I need you to engage in today's group activity, meaning I want you to participate, and I want you to talk as much as possible. Yeah. So it can also mean like participate. Okay. Next one is glare. Yeah. Glare. Glare means, it just means like a very strong light that is either like from the source or like reflecting light. Yeah. Like, for example, when you're going on a car ride, if you're sitting like on a really hot day in the front seat, there might be like too much glare. It's really bright. Yeah. And the sun is like so bright in your eyes. So in that case, you can say it's glaring. Yeah. That means like there's too much light. It's really strong light, which is like a disturbance. All right. Okay. Next one. Hypothesis. All right. Hypothesis. Now, what does this mean? It basically means like a proposed explanation of something. Yeah. A proposed explanation based on limited facts. Yeah. That means let's go back to the healthcare example. All right. So if a doctor is accessing a patient, he's going to look through all the reports, whatever. And based on that information, the hypothesis is this patient is suffering from this condition, you know. But again, they might need to do more tests, more investigations in order to determine like, absolutely, is this the cause or not? Yeah. But based on the limited information that they have, they are guessing like, okay, this could be the reason. Yeah. This is usually the reason for this problem to occur, like that kind of thing. All right. So in that case, you would call that as a hypothesis. All right. Okay, good. Next one, which is number 11, which is imminent. All right. Imminent. Okay. Now, imminent means something that is about to happen. Yeah. About to happen. Or meaning like you can also say like you can't stop it. Yeah. You can't stop it. So for example, what can you say? Let's say, for example, you know, if one of your colleagues has made a really huge blunder at work or is underperforming at work all the time, yes, since the last few months. So in that case, you can make a statement and you can say like, well, it's imminent that this guy is going to be fired from the job one day. Yeah, that means like, okay, maybe not today, but he's always underperforming. So one day, definitely they're going to pick it up and they're going to send him out from the company. Yeah, so it's imminent. That means it's about to happen sometime or the other, whether today or tomorrow, next month, you know, whatever, that kind of thing. Okay. Great. Another similar word would be inevitable. Yeah. Inevitable. I mean, this is the exact meaning of this one, which is you can't stop it. Yeah. It's unavoidable. Like you cannot stop it or unavoidable. Yeah. So again, this guy could be fired from the job and that's inevitable. Yeah. Based on his performance, it's inevitable. Maybe today, maybe someday, for sure, he's going to get fired from the job. Yeah. If he's not performing. So inevitable means like unavoidable. It will happen anyway. Right. Okay. Next one is intuition. Yeah. Intuition. Now, you might have heard of this phrase, which people will say, always follow your intuition. Yeah, always follow your intuition, which means your intuition is usually like your gut feeling. Yeah, your gut feeling, right? For example, your gut feeling means like you always have like an inner voice. Yeah, no matter what you're doing, like you have like an inner voice of judgment to tell you whether something is good, something is not good, you know, that kind of thing. Yeah. So for example, let's say if you know, you're traveling somewhere and you wanted to book a flight. Yeah. But for whatever reason, although the flight is good, I mean, the prices are good, you know, but something you have a feeling like, no, I'm not quite happy. I don't want to book this flight. You know, I'd rather go by car. Yeah. So in that case, okay, you don't book the flight, you go by car. But later on, you found out that, you know, the flight had some technical issue and it was a close accident or whatever. Yeah. So your gut feeling actually saved you, you know, in that time. So you had a kind of a, you know, like you're not convinced you should book that flight. Do you guys follow what I'm saying, guys? Do you understand what like gut feeling is? Just give me a quick thumbs up. Yeah. Okay, I'm trying to explain as much as possible. That's all. Okay, good. Yeah. So you'll always have some sort of feeling, you know, whenever you're doing anything, whether like, okay, I'll do it, or sometimes when you're going to do something, you'll think like, should I do it or not? You know, like you're thinking like that kind of thing. Yeah. So that's called like gut feeling. All right. Okay. Next one, number 14, which is to justify. All right. Justify. Justify. Now, this word justify is usually like useful for debates. Yeah. Now, when you are in a debate, you need to justify each point. Yeah. For example, if you're saying, let's say we're having a debate about, you know, is a rent house better or a self house better? Yeah. So in that case, if you're saying a rent house is better, that means you need to justify your point. Why are you saying that? You need to have like a strong reason. Yeah. So to justify something means you need to give strong reasons of why that is correct or why are you saying that point, you know, like you need to convince or have some proof as to why you're saying that. Yeah, so that is the meaning of justify. Okay, next one, guys. Number 15, which is omit, all right? Omit. So omit means it just means to intentionally leave it. Yeah, to leave it. Again, this is very used commonly in classrooms. So those of you guys who are teachers will definitely know. Yeah. So in this case, you can say we're going to omit this lesson from the syllabus, you know, for example. That means we're going to leave it out or we're going to skip it. Yeah. So to omit something means like to leave it out from the rest. Yeah. Okay, that's quite straightforward. Next one, 16, which is precede. Precede, right? So for example, let's say we're having an event, a function, all right? So in that case, I can say like before the, chief guest's speech, it's going to be preceded by the welcome address. Yeah, it's going to be preceded by the welcome address, meaning it comes before. So when I say, the welcome address is going to precede the chief guest's speech, that means I'm saying the welcome address is coming first. First, we'll do the welcome address. After that, this chief guest will speak. Yeah. So to precede means to come before, right? Okay. Next one, which is redundant. Yeah. Okay. Redundant, right? Okay, redundant is quite common in the workplace, guys. Now, you might have heard big companies, usually they will, make quite a lot of staff redundant. Yeah. So for example, they might make 500 staff redundant. So you can also use a similar word, which is layoff. They will lay off their employees, meaning like, like firing them basically, letting them go. But a nicer way of saying it, a polite more way of saying it would be to make them redundant. Yeah. So that means they no longer needed in the company. Yeah. Or they no longer like useful in the company. That's why the company is letting them go. Yeah, they're laying them off. And usually when you say someone is made redundant, it usually means that they got like a good settlement, everything, that kind of thing. Yeah, not just fired from the job. It just means that they gave them a nice package, everything, but they said like to leave the company is so their services are not required anymore. Okay, so that's the meaning of redundant. Okay, next one, number 18. This is an easy one, guys, which is relevant. Yeah, relevant. Now, for example, last week when we were doing our speeches, I told you guys to, when you're going to end your speech, use like a relevant quote or a relevant proverb that you like, yeah, which is similar to your speech that you're talking. So the meaning of relevant means something which is appropriate, yeah, appropriate to what you are doing or what you're speaking about. It has to be related. You can also think of related, yeah. So if you're talking about, again, health means, so if you want to share a relevant quote, again, that quote also has to be about health. It can't be some random quote. Yeah. So it has to be appropriate to what you're speaking about. It has to be related. So that means relevant. Yeah. Okay. Next one, number 19, which is trivial. Yeah. Trivial. Now, trivial means basically means like something small or it's like a micro issue. For example, if you say, my colleague was fired over a trivial mistake at work. Yeah, my colleague was fired over a trivial mistake at work. That means like although he made only a small mistake, but the boss got so upset and they fired him. Yeah. So something trivial means like something really small. It doesn't matter that much. Yeah, it's just something small, not of much importance. Yeah. So it's not that important. It's just a small little detail. Yeah. Okay. And the last one, of course, is an easy one, guys, which is the word uniform. Yeah. So uniform means, again, it means like everything should be the same. Yeah. So again, kids in a school, for example, they wear uniform. Yeah. So everyone looks the same. Yeah. They're all wearing the uniform, right? So everything looks the same, right? Or similar. Or so yeah, and of course the clothes, yeah, which is like the actual uniform, a physical thing which you're wearing. Yeah. Okay, great. So those are the words, guys. That's a little bit of vocabulary that I want to cover with you guys today.